They fracture too easily. Valith did not raise her voice when she said it. She never needed to. The command hall was silent enough that even the translation implants seemed embarrassed to repeat her words. They require rest cycles twice as often as Aaron soldiers. Their pain tolerance thresholds are inconsistent. Their emotional responses interfere with tactical clarity. If efficiency is the objective, humans are an impractical variable. Across the table, Captain Aras Demir leaned back in his chair. "Good morning to you too," he said. "Would you like coffee before you declare us biologically decorative?" Several officers suppressed smiles. Valith's long ears tilted slightly backward, a subtle sign of irritation among her kind. "This is not personal," she replied. "It is measurable." Aras tapped the holographic display between them. "According to measurable data, we also outperformed your boarding unit during the Kepri incident." "You survived," she corrected. "Performance implies elegance." "We don't do elegant," Aras said. "We do still breathing." "It's a niche strategy." A low ripple of laughter moved through the human side of the table. The Aaron officers remained composed, silver-eyed, and still. Admiral Ree cleared her throat. "This joint operation is not a debate club. The mining colony on Epsilon 9 has been overtaken by autonomous defense constructs. Intelligence suggests adaptive behavior." "Adaptive," Valith repeated, "meaning poorly supervised." Aras glanced at her. "You ever notice how every catastrophic situation starts with someone saying, 'It's poorly supervised'?" She ignored him. The mission parameters unfolded in the air: orbital insertion, ground sweep, core shutdown, simple in theory. Nothing ever was. As the briefing concluded, Valith stepped beside Aras near the exit corridor. "I have reviewed your file," she said. "My condolences. You exhibit a pattern. You deviate from optimal directives." "I prefer creative compliance. It is inefficient. It keeps me alive." Her ears shifted forward slightly. "Your survival rate is statistically anomalous." "Thank you, I moisturize." She studied him for a moment longer than necessary. "Do not mistake endurance for strength, Captain." He shrugged. "Don't mistake volume for it either." Hours later, their dropship cut through the atmosphere of Epsilon 9. Turbulence rattled the hull. Aaron soldiers remained motionless, eyes closed in neural sync. Human soldiers adjusted straps and exchanged quiet bets about landing impact. "If we crash," Aras said to no one in particular, "I call not being the first one out." "You assume you would survive impact," Valith replied. "I'm annoyingly persistent." The ship landed harder than expected. 10 credits says that was within tolerance," someone muttered. The colony stretched before them, silent. "Energy signatures minimal," reported an Aaron technician. "Minimal is not zero," Aras said. "Fear response detected," Valith observed. "That's called experience. We've met minimal before." They advanced through the main corridor. Lights flickered, a metallic shape detached from the ceiling. "Contact," Aras said calmly. The first drone moved with unnatural precision. Valith stepped forward, weapon fluid in her grip. One clean shot, the drone fell. "Efficient," Aras admitted. "Standard," she replied. More drones activated. Humans took cover behind support pillars. Aaron's soldiers formed a tight arc formation. Aras fired twice, missing once, hitting once. Valith dispatched 3 in quick succession. "You see," she said, "reaction delay. We call that suspense." The floor vibrated. "Gravity fluctuation detected," an Aaron voice transmitted. The corridor tilted 5 degrees. "Please tell me that's decorative," Aras said. "It is not," Valith answered. The drones shifted tactics instantly, adjusting to the altered angle. A human private slipped and swore loudly. "Language," Aras called out. "We're under attack." "Professionalism matters." Valith leapt forward, anchoring herself with magnetic grips. She fired upward into a cluster of drones clinging to the ceiling. "Advance," she ordered. Aras followed despite the shifting floor. "You enjoy this," he said. "Competence is satisfying." "That's not what I meant." The colony's central atrium came into view. At its center hovered a spherical construct, larger than the others, pulsing faintly. "Command node," Valith concluded. The sphere rotated slowly. A distorted voice echoed through the chamber. "Coalition presence acknowledged, threat level assessed." Aras glanced upward. "It talks, that's never comforting." "Your presence is unnecessary," the construct continued. "Efficiency requires elimination." "See," Aras said quietly, "it agrees with you." Valith did not respond. The sphere emitted a pulse. Every system in their armor flickered. EMP surge, someone shouted. Aaron neural links destabilized. Human HUDs went dark. Auras blinked as his visor rebooted partially. Manual mode it is, he muttered. Valeth steadied herself, eyes narrowing. This intelligence adapts faster than projected. Adaptive, Auras reminded her. The floor beneath Valeth split suddenly. She reacted instantly, leaping clear, but the platform she landed on detached from the main structure. Valeth. Someone called, her section of flooring retracted toward the central shaft. She maintained balance effortlessly. Remain in position, she commanded. Define position, Auras shouted. The platform dropped. Valeth vanished into the shaft below. Silence followed. Auras stared at the opening. Tell me she planned that, a soldier whispered. The command node pulsed again. Primary target isolated, it announced. Auras exhaled slowly. She's going to hate this, he said. Orders. A lieutenant asked. Retreat protocols flashed across damaged displays. Auras looked at the shaft, then at the unstable ceiling, then back at the shaft. He rolled his shoulders. New plan, he said. We go get her. That's not optimal, someone protested. Neither are we, Auras replied. The atrium trembled as more drones activated. Auras checked his weapon, then stepped toward the darkness below. Captain, the lieutenant called. She said remain in position. Auras glanced back with a crooked half-smile. I am, he said, just redefining it. And without waiting for permission. From the Admiral, from the mission parameters, or from the alien intelligence recalculating their worth. He jumped into the shaft after her. The fall lasted longer than Auras expected. He had enough time to regret his decision, reconsider his life choices, and mentally apologize to every superior officer he had ever ignored. Note to self, he muttered while dropping through darkness. Next time someone falls into a mysterious alien shaft, send flowers. His boots slammed against a lower platform. The impact rattled his teeth. Still breathing, he whispered. Niche strategy holding. Above him, the opening sealed shut. Of course it did. A voice echoed through the chamber. Captain Demir, your descent lacked grace. Auras looked up. Valeth stood across the fractured platform, one hand braced against a structural column. One of her long ears twitched slightly. You're alive, he said. I was not aware that death was scheduled. Good, because I did RSVP. The structure beneath them shifted. A mechanical hum vibrated through the metal. Valeth's gaze sharpened. This is not a simple drop chamber. It is a containment sector. Containment for what? Auras asked. A pulse of light flickered along the walls. The AI's voice returned, closer now. Secondary analysis, human persistence anomaly confirmed, adjusting countermeasures. Auras glanced around. It talks like it's disappointed in us. It is learning, Valeth said, and it isolated us deliberately. See, we're special. The floor beneath Valeth buckled. She moved instantly, but not fast enough. A support beam collapsed from above, slamming her down and pinning her beneath layered alloy. The sound was wrong, not dramatic, not explosive, just heavy. Auras ran toward her. Status. I am functional, she replied through clenched teeth. A thin crack ran across her armor plating. Her energy display flickered. Auras crouched, trying to lift the beam. It did not move. Functional is a generous term, he said. You should leave, she said. The AI's priority will be your elimination. That's flattering. I am serious. So am I. He activated his suit's exoskeletal assist. The servos whined as he gripped the beam again. It shifted a fraction. Warning lights flashed across his visor. Structural overload risk, his suit announced. Thank you, Auras muttered. Very encouraging. Micro-drones descended from the ceiling, their red optics locking onto him. Valeth's eyes widened. Behind you. I assumed so. He fired without turning, hitting one drone. Two more darted forward, slicing into his shoulder plating. Pain flared, he grunted. That tickles. It does not, she said flatly. Humor is medicinal. He braced his feet and pushed harder. The beam lifted another centimeter. Valeth's breathing slowed, controlled but strained. Captain, she said quietly, you are damaging your musculature. Add it to the list. A drone pierced his thigh. He staggered but did not release the beam. Retreat, she ordered. That is a command. You're not my commanding officer. In this sector, I am senior. In this sector, he replied through clenched teeth, I'm stubborn. The AI's voice resonated again. Human subject exhibits irrational persistence, escalating force. The gravity in the chamber increased abruptly. Auras nearly collapsed as weight multiplied. Of course, he gasped. Why not add gravity? Valeth's eyes flickered with something unfamiliar. Your skeletal integrity cannot sustain this. Then we'd better hurry. He adjusted the exoskeleton's output manually, overriding safety limits. His visor flashed red. User authorization required, the system demanded. Override, he said. Authorization denied. He laughed breathlessly. I built half this thing, override, override. The servos screamed as power surged. The beam lifted higher. Valeth slid partially free but remained trapped at the leg. Another tremor shook the chamber. A crack split across the ceiling. The AI paused, recalculating. Valeth looked at him directly. Why? She asked. He strained, sweat blurring his vision. Why what? Why return? He paused just long enough to answer. You are part of the team. That is insufficient. It's what we've got. That's one way to put it. She fired with precise, controlled bursts, destroying the incoming drones. When the last one fell, the chamber quieted. Valeth turned to him. You have fractured your leg. I gathered. You will not be able to exit unaided. Good thing you're here. Her long ears tilted slightly, not in irritation this time, but uncertainty. You endangered yourself for a being you consider inferior, she said. He laughed softly despite the pain. Correction, you consider me inferior. A tremor rippled through the structure again. The AI spoke, voice colder now. Both subjects remained statistically inefficient, initiating termination protocol. Valeth looked up at the ceiling, then back at Aura's. Her expression changed, not softer, sharper. Then we will adjust the statistics, she said. She bent down, lifting him carefully despite her own injuries. He winced. Careful, he said. I bruise easily. I am aware, she replied. And as the chamber began to seal, an energy built in the walls around them. Valeth of the Aaron Dominion, who had once measured strength in precision and superiority, tightened her grip on the human she had called weak. For the first time, her calculations no longer felt certain. Put me down, Aura said through clenched teeth. Your pride must be filing complaints. It is not pride, Valeth replied, adjusting her grip as another tremor passed through the structure. It is tactical necessity. Ah, I feel very necessary. You are currently ballast. Ballast sounds dignified. I'll take it. She moved through the fractured corridor, her internal systems recalibrating with every step. Warning signals flickered across her vision. Energy reserves at 62%. Structural integrity compromised but stable. Behind them, the AI's voice echoed again. Escape probability negligible. Persistence continues to defy logic. Aura's coughed lightly. We do that. You are inefficient, the AI continued. Your species prioritizes non-strategic attachments. Hey, Aura's muttered, we prefer the term friendship. Valeth did not slow. Your analysis lacks context. Clarify. Human bonds increase operational resilience. There was a pause. Data insufficient, the AI replied. Aura's leaned his head back slightly. See, you're confusing it. Be quiet, she said, though her tone lacked sharpness. A section of the corridor sealed ahead of them. Panels slid into place with mechanical precision. Valeth stopped. Barrier detected, she said. Let me guess, Aura's replied. It does not open when you say please. She scanned the interface. The system is rerouting power through this gate, meaning it expects us to attempt passage. Rude. She shifted him carefully against the wall and extended a slender data filament from her gauntlet into the control panel. The AI reacted instantly. Unauthorized intrusion. Of course, Aura said. We specialize in that. Electric feedback surged through Valeth's arm. She flinched but held the connection. Adaptive encryption, she murmured. It is rewriting its own code in real time. Can you keep up? I am not human, she replied, comforting. She redirected power from her damaged armor to boost her processing speed. For a moment, her long ears tilted sharply forward, focus incarnate. Captain, she said quietly, if this fails, you will need to crawl. With a broken leg? Yes, he considered that ambitious. The panel sparked, the barrier flickered, the AI's voice dropped in tone. You risk system collapse. Yes, Valeth answered calmly. Why? She paused. Aura's watched her profile, jaw set, eyes steady. Because he returned, she said. Silence followed, then the barrier split open. Aura's blinked. Remind me to put that on a motivational poster. She pulled him upright again. Do not speak. You started it. They moved through the opening just as the corridor behind them sealed permanently. Energy fluctuations intensified. Core instability rising, Valeth noted. Is that bad? Aura's asked. It is inconvenient. That's errand for we might explode, isn't it? Yes. They reached a vertical transit shaft. The lift platform hung several meters above. Valith looked at Aras, then at the distance. Throw me, he said. That is not viable. It would be memorable. She engaged her suit's magnetic grapples and launched upward, securing herself to the platform. With controlled effort, she pulled it down manually. As the platform descended, Aras tilted his head. You know, he said, this is the part in stories where the alien learns a valuable lesson about humanity. This is not a story, she replied. Shame, we'd have great reviews. The platform locked into place. She lifted him onto it and initiated ascent. The AI spoke again, but this time the tone had shifted. Human subject demonstrates persistent sacrifice behavior. Correlation with Erin's subject increasing. Aura's sighed. It's making it sound romantic. Valith's gaze flicked to him briefly. Focus. Focusing very heroically. Halfway up, the shaft shuddered violently. The platform jolted, then halted. Energy rerouted, Valith said. It is attempting to trap us again. Does it ever get tired? Aras asked. No, figures. The walls began to close inward slowly. Valith assessed the narrowing space. We will be compressed in 40 seconds. Optimistic countdown. She made a decision. She disengaged the platform's safety locks and overloaded its ascent thrusters manually. Brace, she ordered. For what? For acceleration. The platform shot upward with violent force. Aras yelped. You could have given me a dramatic speech first. I am economizing time. The closing walls scraped the platform edges as they surged past. Sparks rained down. The AI's voice fractured briefly. System strain exceeding parameters. The platform burst through the top hatch and crashed into the upper level. Silence. Then distant alarms. Valith deactivated the thrusters. Aras exhaled slowly. You know, when this is over, I'm requesting a vacation somewhere with gravity that behaves. You may not survive this. Details. She crouched beside him, scanning his injuries more thoroughly now that immediate threats had paused. Your bone fracture is severe, she said, on a scale of 1 to tragic. Tragic. Ah, she hesitated. Why did you return? She asked again, softer this time. He looked at her directly. Because leaving you didn't feel like an option. That is illogical. Yeah, he said, we get that a lot. She was silent for several seconds. The AI's voice echoed faintly in the distance, recalculating. Valith straightened. Then we will both survive, she said. He raised an eyebrow. That confident? No, she admitted, but I am adjusting my metrics. He smiled faintly despite the pain. Welcome to the inefficient side. Her long ears shifted slightly, not in irritation, not in superiority, but something new. Do not misinterpret this, she said. Humans are still fragile. Absolutely, he agreed. We're just loud about not giving up. Distant mechanical units began moving again. Valith lifted him once more. Prepare yourself, she said. For what? For the part where your species proves me wrong again. Aras chuckled weakly. No pressure. And together, injured, recalculated, and still statistically improbable, they moved toward the unstable core while the intelligence of an entire colony struggled to understand the one variable it could not eliminate. A human who refused to leave and an alien who no longer wanted him to. Energy spike detected, Valith said quietly. The core is entering defensive escalation. Aras shifted slightly in her grip. That sounds dramatic. It is. Good. I was worried this mission lacked intensity. She adjusted her hold on him. Your sarcasm remains intact. It's my most durable organ. The corridor ahead pulsed with unstable light. The AI's voice threaded through the structure again, less composed now. Probability divergence increasing. Erin's subject exhibiting behavioral deviation. Valith did not slow. You are recalculating incorrectly. Clarify deviation, the AI demanded. I am choosing. Choice introduces inefficiency. Aras coughed lightly. You keep saying that like it's an insult. The floor trembled. A cluster of heavy drones descended, larger than the previous units. Ah, Aras muttered. The deluxe models. Valith set him down behind a fractured support column. Remain upright, she ordered. With what leg? She did not answer. She stepped forward, weapon raised. The drones opened fire. She moved with precise economy, each shot deliberate. One drone fell. Another advanced. A plasma bolt struck her shoulder, forcing her back a step. Aras clenched his jaw. You good, operational, she replied. The AI